Let's have a quick look at a question from the National Senior Certificate Geography Paper 1 that was written in November 2018. The question reads as follows. Study figure 2.1, which shows a cross-sectional view of a tropical cyclone. Choose the correct words from those given in brackets, which will make each statement geographically correct. Write only the word or the words next to the question numbers 2.1.1 to 2.1.8 in your answer book. It's very important that you follow the instruction. The examiner requires you to write down the question number and next to each question number to only write the correct word. Question 2.1.1 says that the eye or the vortex at A is characterized by descending air. This is section A. This is the center of the tropical cyclone, and that is called the eye. 2.1.2. The area at B is an area of high or low pressure. So this is the center of the tropical cyclone. These are surface conditions. A cyclone, the center of a cyclone is where the lowest pressure is going to occur. So B represents an area of low air pressure. 2.1.3 light or heavy rainfall occurs at C. C is the section of the tropical cyclone that is covered by the cumulonimbus clouds, and cumulonimbus clouds produce heavy rainfall. 2.1.4 the vertical movements of air at D are known as updrafts or downdrafts. So this is the air at D. The upward movement is called an updraft. So in this instance, your updrafts are responsible for the creation of those cumulonimbus clouds and why they stretch so high into the atmosphere vertically. The upper air at E is converging or diverging. Remember, at the surface of a cyclone, we have converging air. Where the clouds are located, the air is going to rise, but it's going to spiral in a clockwise direction in the northern hemisphere. At points E on either side, the air is moving away from the center. So even though it is converging at C, at point E, it is diverging. Two 2.1.6 says F is associated with low or high air pressure. At B, which is surface conditions, we have lower pressure. At F, we have the occurrence of higher pressure. So the air pressure is much higher at point F than what it is at point B. So F is associated with high air pressure, bearing in mind that at the surface it's low pressure at B, and higher up into the atmosphere the pressure is going to be higher. It says the graph G shows pressure or temperature with the passage of the tropical cyclone. So what G is showing us that if I travel from one part of the tropical cyclone and I move towards the center, I go beyond the center or the eye and I move to the outskirts. In other words, I'm moving from this point to the center of tropical cyclone and then I'm passing on the other end. So what this is implying here, this is showing us pressure on the outskirts. You have higher pressure, and as you go to the center of the cyclone, the pressure becomes less, where the lowest pressure is found at the center or at the eye, and as I pass through the vortex or the eye wall, the pressure starts climbing. So graph G represents air pressure. because the lowest pressure is found at the eye. Surface air temperature or wind speed is depicted by graph H. So what happens here in this graph, you're going to notice that this graph shows an increase in either temperature and wind speed. There at the middle, you see there's a sudden drop in either temperature or wind speed, and then once you go beyond the eye, you find that that factor then again starts to decrease. In question 2.1.8, we are going to find that at the eye, the conditions are calm. In other words, there is absolutely no wind. So at the eye, we find that there is no wind, there's no rain, and there are no clouds. So in this instance, you find as I move from the outskirts of the tropical cyclone and I move towards the center, the winds are going to start increasing. At the center, the winds are going to die down completely. Immediately on the other side of the eye, it's going to pick up, and then it's going to start decreasing again. So 2.1.8, surface wind speed is depicted by graph H.